This person is about to come back to you, but something is holding them back, and the universe just showed me what it is. Before I go any further, I want to ask you something. Have you been feeling something strange lately? Something you could not explain? A warmth that comes and goes. A heaviness in your chest that does not belong to you. A knowing that sits deep inside your bones and will not leave no matter how many times your mind tries to talk you out of it. If you felt that, then you already know why you are here, my dear. Your soul brought you to this message because what you have been sensing is real. It is not your imagination. It is not wishful thinking. It is not you holding on to something that is already gone. What you are feeling is the energy of someone who is standing at the edge of your life, trying to find the courage to step back in. The universe has been holding this moment for you, and it chose right now to let you feel it. If you are new to this channel, welcome to Soul Signal. This is a space where your soul finds the clarity your heart has been searching for. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a message that was meant for you. And something has been happening on the other side. While you have been sitting with this feeling, while you have been wondering if it means something, while you have been afraid to trust what your own body keeps telling you, this person has been going through something they never expected. They want to come back. That part is not a question anymore. The wanting has been settled for longer than you think. It was settled on the nights they could not sleep. It was settled in the moments they reached for their phone and typed your name and deleted it and typed it again and deleted it again. It was settled the morning they woke up, and the first thing their body did was look for you in the empty space beside them. The wanting is not what is holding them back. The wanting has been screaming inside them for months. What is holding them back is something else, something heavier, something they carry in the deepest part of their chest where no one is allowed to look. This person is about to come back to you, but the thing that stands between you and them right now is not distance. It is not another person. It is not confusion. It is a shadow, a heavy darkness they have been carrying inside their bones since the day they walked away. They are weighed down by something the universe wants you to feel. They carry a wound that tells them they do not deserve to return. They carry the memory of how they left, and it has become a darkness so heavy that even though their heart is screaming your name, their feet cannot move. Type, I knew it. If you have been feeling something shifting between you and this person, and this darkness did not come from nowhere, it grew, day by day, choice by choice. Every time they had the chance to reach out and did not, the weight got heavier. Every time they saw something that reminded them of you and looked away instead of letting themselves feel it, the shadow added another layer. Every time someone asked about you and they changed the subject or said something that was not the truth, the darkness tightened its grip. And now the shadow they carry has become the thing they are most afraid of. Not you. Not your anger. Not your rejection. The weight of their own silence. Because somewhere deep inside them they believe that what they did is too much. They believe the distance they created is too wide. They believe that you have looked at the space they left and filled it with something better. And the thought that you might have moved on is not what scares them the most. What scares them the most is the thought that you moved on because you finally saw what they have been afraid of all along, that they were never good enough to stay. That is the lie their shadow has been telling them, that they are not good enough, that they never were. That the reason they left was not courage or confusion or timing. It was because some wounded part of them knew that you deserved more and they could not stand to watch you figure that out. This person is about to come back to you. But the shadow's telling them that coming back would be selfish, that reaching out would be cruel, that showing up at your door after everything would be the most unfair thing they could do to a person who has already been through enough. Carl Jung once wrote that the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. And that is exactly what happened between you and this person. You transformed each other, and the transformation terrified them. Because being transformed by someone means you can never go back to who you were before. And they have been trying. They have been trying so hard to go back, and failing. Every single day. Type the first letter of their name. The person whose shadow is the only thing standing between you right now. Touch the space between your collarbones right now, that small hollow at the base of your throat. Hold your fingers there. That is where your body has been storing everything you could not say to this person. And right now, that space is warming. Because what you stored there is about to be answered. The universe is gentle with you right now. It is holding you the way a hand holds a candle in the wind. Steady, protective, warm. The universe showed me what their nights have looked like. Quiet nights where the world around them went still, and the only thing left was the truth they had been running from all day. And in those nights, something would rise up from somewhere so deep inside them that they could not push it back down. It would fill their chest. It would press against the back of their throat. It would sit behind their eyes until the pressure became unbearable. And in those moments they would think of you, not as a memory, not as something from the past, but as a feeling that still lived inside them as if you had never left. They would lie there, and their body would ache, not from pain, from absence, from the empty space beside them that still somehow carried your shape, from the silence that used to hold your voice, from the way the air in the room felt thinner without you in it. They tried to fill that space. They tried to cover it with blankets. They tried to drown it with noise. They put the television on and turned the volume up and stared at the screen, and none of it worked, because the silence they were trying to fill was not in the room. It was inside them. It was in the place where your voice used to live, and no amount of sound from the outside can fill a silence that lives on the inside. And they would close their eyes and do the one thing they swore they would never do again. They would let themselves feel you, fully, without resistance, without the walls they spent months building. They would let the feeling of you wash over them the way water fills a hollow. And for a few minutes everything inside them would be quiet, not because the pain stopped, but because you were the only thing that ever made the noise go away. Their hands would move. Without thinking, their fingers would reach for the phone and hover over your name, and their thumb would shake, and their throat would tighten, and they would put the phone down, and then pick it up again, and put it down again. And this happened more times than you will ever know, more times than they will ever admit, because every time they almost reached out, the shadow would whisper the same thing. You do not deserve to go back. You do not deserve to disturb their peace. You had your chance, and you wasted it, and that is the price you pay. This person is about to come back to you. And while the shadow kept them frozen, their heart kept speaking. Their heart has been saying things the darkness tried to drown out. But the universe heard every word. They said I made the worst decision of my life, and I have known it from the very first day. I knew it when I walked away and my legs felt wrong, like they were walking in the wrong direction, like my body was trying to turn me around, but my pride would not let it. I knew it when I got home, and the quiet hit me, and I realized that the quiet with you was warm, but the quiet without you was the coldest thing I have ever felt. They said I have been looking for you in everyone, in every conversation, in every room, in every pair of eyes that are not yours. And the more I look, the more I understand that what we had was not something I can find somewhere else. It was not something the world makes twice. It was us, just us. and I let it go, and I've been paying for it every single day since. And then their voice broke. I want to come back. I want to come back so badly that my body hurts with it. But every time I take a step toward you, the darkness pulls me back and tells me I do not have the right. It tells me that you are better off. It tells me that my love is the thing that hurt you, and bringing it back would only hurt you again. And I do not know if the darkness is lying or telling the truth, and that is the part that keeps me frozen. This person is about to come back to you, my dear. Type, the wait is over. If your soul has been holding space for this return. And while they were drowning in that darkness and fighting with themselves every night, something sacred was happening on your side. You were growing. You were becoming someone they will barely recognize when they see you again. Not because you changed who you are, but because you stopped hiding who you always were. You stopped waiting for their permission to be whole. You stopped measuring your worth by whether or not they chose you. You stopped shrinking yourself to fit inside the space they left behind. And instead, you did something that most people never have the courage to do. You filled that space with yourself. That is not something small. That is the bravest thing a human heart can do. To stand in the middle of an absence and decide that the absence does not get to define you. To look at the empty chair across from you and say, I am still here, and I am still whole, and I am still worthy of everything I've ever wanted. And the universe felt the warmth of that decision. And it sent that warmth directly into the chest of the person who walked away. And you did it without applause. You did it without anyone watching. You did it on the days when your body ached and your mind replayed every memory, and the temptation to reach out was so strong that your fingers burned with it. You chose yourself on those days. You chose your own peace on those days. You held yourself together with your own two hands when the world offered you nothing to hold on to, and there was something gentle and sacred about the way you kept going. This person is about to come back to you, and the person they are coming back to is not the person they left. You are softer now, not weaker, softer. The kind of soft that only comes from surviving something that was supposed to break you and choosing to stay open anyway. The kind of soft that makes you more powerful than you have ever been, because you are no longer afraid of being hurt. You have already been hurt, and you are still here, and the universe sees that. And it knows that is the most magnetic thing a soul can witness in another soul. And that magnetism is what is breaking through their darkness right now. The universe used your healing as a signal. Whether you know it or not, your growth sent a pulse across every invisible line that connects your soul to theirs. When you chose yourself, something inside them felt it. When you stopped chasing, something inside them started searching. When you found peace, something inside them lost the ability to pretend that peace existed anywhere other than beside you. Type, coming home, if this message just confirmed what your body already knew. Press both palms flat against your thighs right now. Feel the weight of your own hands. That weight is the same weight this person feels every single night when they think about reaching for you. Hold it there. Let it ground you. Because what is coming does not need you to float. It needs you to be steady. Maybe you have been dreaming about them. Not the kind of dreams you remember in detail, but the kind that leave a residue on your skin when you wake up. A warmth, a weight, a feeling that someone was just here and you opened your eyes 1 second too late. Maybe your phone has been pulling at you, not with a notification, with a feeling. Like the screen is about to light up with their name and your body knows it before your eyes ever see it. Maybe you have been hearing their name everywhere, in conversations that have nothing to do with them, in songs you did not choose to listen to, in the mouths of strangers who have no idea what that name does to your chest. Maybe your left hand has been tingling, or your chest has been tight at the same time every night. Or you have been waking up at the same hour as if something is pulling you out of sleep to make you notice what is shifting in the invisible space between you. That is not random. That is what I call heart re-entry. It is the moment when someone's energy begins moving back into your field, not all at once, in waves, slow at first, then faster, and your body registers every single wave before your mind has a word for it. This person is about to come back to you, and the thing that has been holding them back is losing its grip. The shadow thinks it is protecting them. The shadow thinks that by keeping them frozen, it is keeping them safe. But the shadow does not know what the universe has already set in motion. Jung believed that what you resist persists. And this person has been resisting the one truth their soul refuses to let go of. That truth is you. You are the thing they have been resisting. You are the thing that persisted. And the resistance has finally reached what I call the surrender point. The surrender point is the moment a soul stops fighting its own knowing. It is not dramatic. It is not loud. It does not happen in a conversation or a crisis. It happens in the smallest of moments. A song, a scent, a word someone says that lands in exactly the wrong place at exactly the right time. And suddenly every wall the shadow built comes down, not because the wall was weak, but because the truth behind it was stronger. And that is what is happening to this person right now. The darkness is cracking. Not from the outside, from the inside. Because the love they carry for you is bigger than any shadow. It has always been bigger. The shadow just spoke louder. But love does not need volume. Love works in silence. Love works in the spaces the universe keeps open. Love moves through cracks that darkness cannot see. And their love for you has been quietly dismantling every barrier their fear has built. One brick at a time. One sleepless night at a time. One almost sent message at a time. The surrender did not look like strength. It looked like a person sitting alone in a room with their head in their hands and no more fight left in their body. It looked like someone who had been running for so long that their legs finally gave out. Not because they chose to stop, but because the body eventually refuses to run from the thing the soul is running toward. They stopped pretending. That is the simplest way I can say it. They stopped performing the version of themselves that did not need you. They stopped smiling when they were breaking. They stopped saying, "I am fine," when they were drowning. They stopped pretending the silence in their life was something they wanted when it was really something that has been slowly dissolving them since the day they walked away. And the universe watched them stop. And the universe said finally, "This person is about to come back to you." Type one word, just one, that describes what you feel right now. They are coming back. That is true, but you do not owe them an easy landing. You do not owe them a door that swings open the moment they arrive. You do not owe them a smile that pretends the distance never happened. You do not owe them the version of you that used to put their comfort above your own peace. You have earned the right to stand in your own truth when they return. You have earned the right to be honest about what the separation did to you. You have earned the right to say, "I love you, and I missed you, and also you hurt me, and I need you to know that." Love that is real can hold that truth. Love that is real does not ask you to swallow your pain so the other person can feel comfortable. Love that is real sits down across from the hurt and says, "I see it, and I am sorry, and I am here, and I am not going anywhere." That is the kind of love that is coming back to you. Not the old version. Not the version that needed you to be quiet to keep the peace. The version that has been broken open by distance and put back together by something sacred, something stronger than fear. This person is about to come back to you, and when they arrive, you get to decide what happens next. Not them, not the universe, not fate, you. Because your peace is not a negotiation. Your heart is not an open door that swings for anyone who knocks. Your love is sacred, and the only person who gets to decide who enters that sacred space is you. Because real reunion is not about pretending. Real reunion is about two people standing in front of each other with everything visible: the scars, the growth, the fear, the shadow, the love. All of it laid out on the ground between them like a map of everywhere they have been apart, and then choosing to walk forward together anyway. Not because it is easy, but because the alternative is walking forward alone, and both of you already know what that feels like, and both of you are tired of pretending it is enough. This person is about to come back to you. Something else is true about this return, my dear. It is not going to look the way you imagined it. It never does. The universe does not deliver what we picture. It delivers what we need. This person is about to come back to you, and what you need and what this person needs is not a perfect moment. It is a real one. A moment where two imperfect souls look at each other and finally accept that the imperfection was never a problem. The imperfection is the point. The cracks are where the light gets in. The wounds are where the tenderness lives. The fear is what makes the courage matter, and the weight they carry is what makes the return sacred. Because a person who comes back to you carrying their darkness in their open hands is a person who has finally stopped hiding. They are showing you the worst of what they carry and trusting you to love them anyway. And the universe knows that is the most vulnerable thing a human being can do. And when they arrive, there will be a moment, a single breath, where both of you will stand in the truth of what happened and what survived and what grew in the space between. And in that moment, you will understand why the separation had to happen. Not because it was punishment, not because it was a test, but because the people you were before did not have the depth to hold the love you were being prepared for. The separation carved that depth into both of you. The pain widened you. The loneliness taught you what presence actually means. The silence showed you what their voice was actually worth. What is coming is not a repetition. What is coming is not the same relationship returning in the same form. What is coming is something that has been rebuilt at the soul level. Every tear you shed became a foundation stone. Every night you spent alone became a room in the house your souls are about to walk into together. Every moment you chose yourself instead of chasing them became a window that lets light in. And now you are ready, not perfect, not without scars, not without fear, but ready. The kind of ready that doesn't come from confidence. It comes from having sat in the darkness long enough to know that you can survive it. And knowing that you can survive the darkness is the only thing that makes you strong enough to walk back into the light with another person and mean it this time. This person is about to come back to you, and the shadow that held them back is no longer stronger than the love that is pushing them forward. One more thing your soul already knows but needs to hear out loud. You did not break anything by letting go. You did not ruin anything by protecting yourself. You did not lose anything that was truly yours by choosing to stop chasing what was not choosing you back. If anyone ever made you feel like your boundaries were the reason the distance grew, then let that lie fall away from you right now. The distance grew because it needed to. Because you both needed room to become the people who could hold what is coming without dropping it. You do not owe anyone a version of yourself that sacrifices your peace. Not even someone you love. Not even someone your soul recognizes. Not even the person who is about to come back to you right now. You are allowed to love them and still love yourself first. Those two things are not at war. They are the same thing seen from two different angles. This person is about to come back to you. Every detour was a delay, not a destination. Every silence was a breath, not a burial. Every ending was a comma, not a period. And the sentence that began the day your souls first recognized each other is still being written. It has not stopped. It will not stop. Because some sentences are not written by human hands. They are written by something older and wiser and more patient than either of you will ever understand. And that something is saying right now in this very moment that the return is real. The shadow is breaking, the walls are falling, and the only thing left standing between this person and you is a few more breaths of courage. This person is about to come back to you, and nothing in this universe can hold them back much longer. If this message found you exactly when you needed it, then I need you to do one more thing for me. Subscribe to this channel so the next message the universe sends through me can find you too. Like this video so more souls who need to hear this can be reached by it. And share it with someone who is also waiting for their person to come home. Type reunion if your soul brought you here at the exact moment you needed this. You are not waiting anymore. You are welcoming. And what is coming will be worth every single second it took to arrive. This person is about to come back to you. The shadow is almost gone, and so is the distance.